I just turned 22 the other day, and I feel a little old, but there is still a lot of life in me, for sure. But only recently have I started posting about the software and building a business, along with all the other things that I do. It's only recently again since I've started posting on YouTube. This is episode 5 of the build, and the first video has gotten a lot of views and good feedback, so I'm excited to kind of keep this series rolling and keep actually talking about the software, because there was a few videos there where I didn't really necessarily talk about the software itself and the business, and that's why I want to do it today. So in this video I want to talk about the framework and the system that I use to help build this business at 22. A lot of people have asked me how I juggle everything that I do. I have the business now, I have school, I have university here, I have to study, I have to do homework, I have the team training sessions, I have team gym, I try to go to the gym on my own too, and there's a lot of things in there for, college is meant to be the best time of your life, and you're meant to enjoy every single moment and, live it up. But I don't really agree with that. I think college is the best time to build something big and build something for yourself, because maybe you don't have a lot of responsibilities and major responsibilities just yet. And when you break it down to a framework that like this, it's kind of simple. Yeah, this may not be for everyone, but it works for me, and I really feel like it can work for other people too. So I have it written down here, but I'm going to try obviously not go off the notes. I've been getting better at this one take video, so yeah, let's just get into it. So I think firstly you need to do some inner work. This happened to me in January of last year when I decided to pick up a journal for the first time and just write down all my thoughts that I had inside my brain. My brain was quite clogged, so it was perfect. It was the perfect time to just let everything out and figure out exactly how my brain works. I think so many of us have so much information and so much nonsense inside of our brain, especially with social media. We're filled with so much information that sometimes it can get too much, and being able to truly understand how your brain works, because everyone's brain is different, is essential. You can do things like journaling, like I said. Meditation is another thing that I've used a lot. You have reading as well. I have 2 books here that I'm reading at the moment, and this just opens your eyes to different things. Like I said, social media, we can fall victim to so much information and stories about other people that it might negatively affect us. And I think when you take time to sit with yourself, be content in your own skin, or reading books that are tried and tested over years, that have proven results, or that have different frameworks that will change your mind, that's exactly how you start. It's just by opening up your mind and opening up yourself to new experiences and new ways of thinking. And like I said, that happened to me in January of last year, and it's continued to happen since. I've been reading. I've finished. I think it was 9 books last year. I'm already done my first one, and I have another 2 on the go here. And yeah, it's just opening up your mind to the different topics and different frameworks to be able to build something massive and impactful. And I think once you figure out where your mind is, it's important to find out what makes you tick. And to do this, you need to create goals. I think goals get a lot of stick because, you set your goals in January and they just don't happen by February and you just forget about them. So creating goals at the start of the year, at the start of each quarter, each month, each week, each day, it breaks it all down into actionable steps. And I think the core essence of goals, you need to write down what exactly you want to achieve. And maybe more importantly, why do you want to achieve it? For me, I had to write out what exactly I wanted the business to look like come December next year, and why. I'm not really going to get into the reasons why, but why do you want to achieve something so great that everyone else kind of doesn't seem to recognize you're possible of doing. And maybe it's a time to kind of lean into what you like. I don't think it's, especially in business and maybe in life and skills and things like that, why would you want to do something that you don't enjoy? For me, the business itself or the training that I do, I love it. I thoroughly enjoy building this thing and spending time at this desk or in the library building something that will be meaningful to people and will be meaningful to me and in my life and will impact my life. These are things that maybe I might not see the rewards in the next year or in the next 2 or 3 years, but maybe in 10 years down the line I can look back and say, well, that building that business at 22 was a major stepping stone in my future and in what my future might look like. So by creating those goals and by leaning into what I enjoy and what I like, you get yourself on the right path to creating something massive. And kind of next, I talk about this a lot, but it's the whole idea around TOSIG is to start and just take action. Like I said, you have to start. If you want to achieve something massive, you have to just start. And regardless of the outcome or of the situation that you're in, you have to just start. Just do something. Do anything you can to get the ball rolling. Because momentum is a massive thing. The inertia it takes to start something is huge. But when you start and when you learn the skills and when you get the ball rolling, like I said, the momentum takes over and it's so much easier to push and to keep going. And some of the ways you can take action, we have access to ChatGPT. I use that every single day. We have Google, we have YouTube. Learn everything you can about what you're trying to build. For me, I'm, like I said in the last episode, I'm building this software, so I have to learn everything I can about building the software. Considering I don't know anything, well, I didn't know anything up until about a month ago, I have a lot to learn, and I'm okay with that. But it's taking that first step and it's getting the ball rolling. Like I said, it's really just about getting yourself ready and taking action as soon as possible. Because maybe it was something that I have struggled with a little, is I'm a big planner, and I like to plan and I like structure, but sometimes it's good to just get going. And again, I need to tell myself that a little more often. I found that as well, once you find your thing, and it's something that maybe I need to make a video on, but finding your thing, finding that thing that makes you tick and makes you move and makes you get up out of bed for, you'll feel like you're fully engrossed in it. You'll feel like this is the one thing that wakes you up every morning and you feel excited and motivated to go build. That's how I feel right now about TOSIG Health, or even just about creating content and building this brand. I feel highly motivated, and it's not a chore to sit down and learn about the code or learning about the no-code software or sitting down and making these videos. I am fully engrossed in building this thing that other external sources don't really affect the outcome or the action that I put into it. And when you get going on this journey, you'll soon realize that certain opportunities happen because you have created this thing. And this is something that I've noticed, especially since creating this type of content, is that people will say it to you, will come up to you and say, oh, well, maybe this impacted me, or, I thought more about this and I agree with you, or I disagree with you. And that's my whole reason for documenting this process and this journey, is to, meet these like-minded people, and opportunities will happen because of documenting or because of building. You're putting yourself in circles and in situations where other people just don't. And again, that's where you meet, potential business partners, potential friends that can elevate you and elevate your business. But it's only by, taking that first step, getting started and continuing on the journey of, what you're trying to build, that you get access to these types of people, and you get access to these circles, because, your environment is huge. And it's funny, I talk about environment and I'm stuck in a very small town in Midwestern USA, and there is a lot of closed-mindedness here, especially in, like I said, a small town. But through the internet we have access to the whole world, and I don't think we truly understand the impact that we can have on people from across the globe, just from posting content or creating a business that may be used across the whole globe. And that's my goal with TOSIG Health, is to have a business that impacts as many people as possible. And I think compounded with the content that will hopefully impact people too, I feel like all these opportunities will happen naturally. And I'm not forcing connections, I'm not forcing content. Like, I'm just speaking how I normally speak, and opportunities will happen. They already have happened, and more opportunities will happen in the future. But it's only by taking that action and putting yourself in these circles will those opportunities actually happen. And it's funny, these opportunities are great, but you're almost certain that you're going to hit a roadblock. I hit a roadblock when I realised that the original business plan wasn't going to work. And it was only due to kind of reflection that I was considering giving up. And I think that's the reality for so many business owners and people who are trying to build something, is that there is going to be thousands of times when you realise that this is shit or this isn't going to work. And it's only in that time that you realise how many people quit. It's through tough times that hard and tough people are made. And the first roadblock is always the toughest, because, like I said, this is where everyone quits. This is where it gets hard and people decide that this life is not for me. But especially what happened to me was I realised how much I had to learn with this software, coding, and like, this is a whole new language for me. And it would be very easy for me to say, you know what, maybe that's a little too much. That's a step too far for me. Maybe I'll just take my foot off the gas and let other people deal with it, and maybe in time I can come back to it. No. When others can't keep up, you keep going. Regardless of the situation, regardless of what is being put in front of you, you just keep going and you keep taking action. And I think the only way to get over this roadblock or this setback is to just keep going, regardless of, like I said, the situation. I think Hormozy talked about you either push or you pivot. There's no quitting. It's you continue to push, you continue to drive, or you change direction. And I think that may be in the case of, learning something new or changing the way your business works, like what I did. But it's after that roadblock that you need to fully immerse yourself back in that thing, back in the thing that makes you tick. And, this is, like I said, where a lot of people quit, but it's where you realise all the sacrifices that you'll need to make. Growing up, I didn't do a lot of partying, I didn't do a lot of messing about because I had this one goal of becoming a professional footballer. And since I've come here, since I've realised that the opportunities are in business, there are other sacrifices that I've had to make. Maybe it's kind of holding back from relationships with different people, with friends. Maybe I'm not spending enough time, partying or being a normal 22-year-old, but it's kind of what you want, and what you want to get from your life. And I think that's where I'm at right now, is I'm in a stage where I'm willing to sacrifice those things to build something massive. And I think if you really want to build something great, I don't think you can. There's probably, people talk a lot about work-life balance, and I think if you want to build something huge and impactful, I don't think there's any balance. I think obsession is a key driver, and I think when you're obsessed over that one thing, you're willing to sacrifice other things to make yourself and your thing successful. And when you continue to do this and continue to take action, you'll win. I talked about in the last video, with persistence you will win. And it's like I said, it's simple, but it's the repetition of daily action that will allow you to achieve your dreams and allow you to build the thing that you want. And that's where I'm at right now. It's constant action, iteration, learning from what I've done or what I've changed, and implementing that then into more action. And once you do that again and again and again and again, eventually you'll get to a point where you'll look back and you'll see how much you've done and how much you've achieved. So kind of to tie that all back in and to wrap it up, you have to learn a lot and you have to fail a lot. And continuous learning and failing and learning and failing, will allow you to, meet the cool people who are on the same journey as you. And you can share those same feelings and emotions together, and you can build together. And once then you've got to a point where you have a lot of proof and you have a lot of daily actions stacked up, you can look back and realise how far you've come, and you truly understand the impact and the benefit of all the sacrifice, and you just have to do it again and again and again and again. Like I said, it's simple but it's hard. It's like a lot of things that I talk about. It's simple but it's hard, and the only way you can do it is by getting going and just continuing to persevere. And that's how I'm building my business. I think emphasis is on building. It's not built. And that's the best part about this series that I'm trying to document is that I can look back on this in 10 years and say, well, he hadn't a clue back then. He had no idea how to build this thing, but he learned and he done it. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to build this thing, and nothing is going to stop me, but it is this continuous daily action and iteration that will allow me to win. And yeah, that's how I'm building my business at 22. If you're building something, please let me know down in the comment section, or message me on Instagram. I really want to, build this community, like I said, of people who are building things, and there's no better place to do this than on the internet. So, yeah, episode 5 done. Thanks for watching. I guess we'll see you in the next one.